President Trump has announced a deal to lower the price of popular weight loss drugs by nearly 90%. Joining us now to discuss the matter is Lawrence Wilson, reporter for the Epoch Times. So, Lawrence, good to see you, as always. So what does this agreement mean for regular Americans?
Well, for a lot of people who are taking a certain type of drugs, which are called GLP-1 medications, now these are things that treat diabetes, but also weight loss, they're going to be quite a bit cheaper. These are a few drugs that are made by two companies, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk. So we're talking about Zepbound, Wegovy, Ozempic. Those are going to be a lot cheaper. As you said, on some doses, up to an 80-90% discount, not quite as much on the injectable medications. But the bottom line is that it's going to mean better health for a lot of people because Medicare and, importantly, Medicaid will be able to get these same discounts. And most states have not covered these drugs for weight loss in the Medicaid program. That could change for a lot of people coming next year.
So, Lawrence, is this pricing for anyone whatsoever who wants the drugs, or are there strict requirements that need to be met?
Well, obviously, you need a prescription. These are prescription medications, so it has to be prescribed by your doctor. And if you're a cash-paying patient, that means you don't have insurance or your insurance coverage is not that great, maybe doesn't cover these medications, then you can go to Trump RX or other platforms next year and buy them as long as your doctor gives you a prescription for it. Now, in the Medicare and Medicaid programs, it'll be a little tighter. Well, what officials have said is they really want to see Americans' health improve, and so they're looking at people with underlying health problems. So, for example, if you struggle with weight, you have a body mass index that's greater than 27, but you have an underlying condition like you're pre-diabetic or you've had a heart attack in the past or you have coronary artery disease, then you would qualify for coverage. If you're extremely obese and people with a body mass of greater than 35% body mass index, no underlying condition is necessary. So the idea is get people to get the weight off, and then those underlying health conditions will improve.
So what I'm wondering here, Lawrence, is that whether the price is guaranteed, and if so, how long?
Well, White House officials addressed that with reporters earlier today, and they said, yeah, these are pretty much locked in. These companies have signed contracts, but they think it's a system that will work by itself. What the drug makers want more than anything is to have some assurance of the ongoing costs that they'll be able to charge, what the pricing will be. So this deal takes all the tariffs out of their hair and it makes things simple for them. So yeah, these will be around for a while. And any new medication offered by these companies will be offered at lower prices, the most favored nation pricing.
Is there any indication as to why the president decided to make a deal on this drug, specifically lowering its cost?
Yeah, President Trump talked about that from the Oval Office today. These drugs have been very popular, but very expensive because a lot of people struggle with weight loss. But up until now, especially when they were not covered by most insurances, now some insurances cover them, it was only wealthy people who could afford them. So people who are living in rural areas, like stuck in food deserts, they don't have that much choice about where they go to buy food, for example, or even in urban areas, the same thing, they were priced out of the market. So President Trump wanted to open this up, make it fairer for everyone. And of course, it'll be a big savings for the Medicare program as well.
So Lawrence, can you speak to the effort that went into this? What did it take to make this deal happen?
Well, President Trump, he offered his opinion on that. It took tariffs. That's what he said. And some of the drug makers have commented on that in these announcements that, yeah, when you dangle that 100% tariff over a company on one of their best-selling products, then they're motivated to negotiate. Beyond that, A lot of these drug makers have said they recognize that the inequality between the market in other countries and in the United States, where we were paying 500% more or over 1,000% more for these particular drugs, Zepbound and Wegovy, they said we knew that had to change, but we needed something to force the action within the marketplace, not just one drug maker, but the whole marketplace. And Trump's order was like a catalyst to bring that change.
Okay, Lawrence, just a couple more things. What do we need to know about the most favored nation drug pricing policy?
Well, it's very simple. As we heard in the earlier report, it is that the drug makers primarily will offer the lowest available price in the United States. So no more charging $50 for something in the United States and $5 in Europe. Those prices have got to equalize. So that means prices are going to come down here and they're probably going to go up in other developed nations. But there are beyond that some provisions. One is that drug makers agree to offer at least some of their medications direct to consumers. So that bypasses the whole insurance market and is a way for people who don't have insurance to get lower priced medications. They also agree to reinvest some of the savings that they'll realize by this system. They'll reinvest that in the United States. And so we're seeing that. They're making announcements about new manufacturing, new research and development facilities here in the U.S.
Okay, Lawrence, just finally, are we expecting to see more agreements like this with more medications being made cheaper for Americans?
Yeah, this is like the fifth deal that's been announced so far. And every time the president and Dr. Mehmet Oz, they'll say there's more coming. So there are a lot of these under negotiation. Of course, now that it has started, it behooves other drug makers to come into this ecosystem that they're creating. We don't know exactly when those deals will come down, but we do expect this to be an ongoing thing here for a while.
All right, Lawrence, always good to talk to you. Thank you for your time today.
My pleasure.